Hey guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today we are going to talk about everyone's favorite topic, the sinking ship known as GameStop. Well, GameStop has had a very tragic year so far. They missed pretty much all of their sales goals for the fiscal year of 2017, and also didn't really do so hot with collectibles or any other sales figures that they had out there. I did a lot of research into this before I decided to talk about it too, because there are some market analysts that are saying that they think GameStop is a great choice right now in investment because they pretty much assume it's going to bounce back. GameStop notoriously looks like a disgusting roller coaster when in terms of the stock market. Right now they are currently trading at $13.20. That is what they are currently trading at, but the lowest they've been at over this month is $12.62. Now, that doesn't sound terrible, because it's not. That's really not horrible on stock value. However, at the beginning of the year, they were at $25. But if we go all the way to 5 years, and we look back at 2013, they were at $53.88, and it has been a steady decline pretty much since 2013. Now, a lot of this has to do with a lot of different things. In 2013, they found out that the new consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, were going to have disk drives still. That was one of the things that helped move that right back up the hill there for GameStop. And there's just been a lot of hits to them recently. But one of the things that they actually stated to investors was what hit them so hard this year was actually the iPhone X. Yeah, apparently they misjudged the iPhone. So that's part of why they missed plan for the year. Personally, I think that GameStop expanding out is a smart move on their behalf. I just think that sometimes they expand out into things that are going to take them away from what their original company is, which is games. So when you start looking at the way that they expanded and what all avenues they decided to expand into, they've expanded into a lot of areas that are not doing well to begin with. GameStop expanded into collectibles and toys when they bought ThinkGeek and brought a lot of that into the store, and I'm sure a lot of that has helped increase overall revenue to some degree, but there's so much bad publicity that they also lose so many different customers every year, and that's kind of hard to regain as customer trust. But when you're buying into games and toys and collectibles, well, what other company sold games and toys and collectibles just recently that may have declared bankruptcy? Toys R Us, that's right. Yeah, so, I mean, that's not necessarily an avenue that's going to instill confidence into your investors. GameStop also, just around the corner, they're going to have a lot of their debt maturing, which means they're going to owe more money. So it'll be really interesting to see how GameStop attempts to swing out of this. And a lot of companies, when they do make a profit, which GameStop did make a profit this year, they did pay out to investors. It's not like they lost money this year. They just didn't hit what their sales goal is. The problem that you have here is GameStop wasn't reinvesting any of that money elsewhere, which a lot of times that can spell a bad sign for a company. Normally, companies that want to keep growing invest into other businesses or buyouts or things that can help prolong their current lifespan. GameStop, though, however, did not do that this year. Now, that could be a lot of different reasons. They did just buy ThinkGeek a couple years back. They have been expanding into the cell phone marketplace. But they're also buying into prepaid phones. They're a shareholder of Cricket Wireless. And by God, I don't know how many people honestly buy a prepaid phone, but at this point in time, you can go to most wireless carriers and get a no contract kind of thing going on that's more beneficial and more stable than most of those prepaid phone carriers are, especially Cricket. Cricket doesn't necessarily have a great reputation. But then you can also look at another company, because obviously if you're buying into prepaid phones, a lot of the things investors want to look at is how stable is that industry. Well, you can look at Radio Shack, and Radio Shack obviously doesn't exist anymore, and part of what they did was go from, we're now the place where you can get every speaker, cable, soldering kit, or any kind of DIY technology stuff that you need, to, do you want a prepaid phone? Do you want a prepaid phone? Here's a prepaid phone. You're pre-approved for a prepaid phone. It's not a stable industry to be in. And it's kind of weird because, like, you know, the first thought I would have is I'm going in to pick up God of War, and obviously the first thing I need to get with my copy of God of War is a prepaid phone. That way I can go tweet about how awesome God of War is. That makes no sense to me where they think the two realms are going to collide. I'm pretty sure if you're thinking about buying a phone, that GameStop is not the #1 thought in your head. Now, they also own a couple of weird Apple stores that sell, like, used Apple products. That's what they do. They just sell Apple products and used Apple products. It's very bizarre. But, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I think collectibles and toys were a bad decision for GameStop. Honestly, that's probably the only thing I still go into GameStop to buy. So if I go and trade something in, I'm probably buying collectibles or PSN codes or Xbox Live codes. I'm not going in there to buy a brand new game. I'm not pre-ordering. I'm not renewing my rewards card. Also, PSA for you, if you do use GameStop, go into the app and switch off to auto-generate your points, because it auto-issued me a certificate, which I was going to hang on to till I had $10, but that got crapped on because GameStop decided that they needed to auto-issue it. So you have to go into the app and actually opt out of that because they forcibly opted everyone into it. But I don't really know how much longer GameStop will be able to survive at the current rate they are going, with the bad press, the investing into markets that aren't necessarily doing well already to begin with. It's just, retail in general isn't doing well. So you would think they would try to do something smarter to prolong themselves, but they're not. I mean, you can look at certain retailers who are doing amazingly in terms of stock. So like Best Buy is doing really good. Target, doing really good. There are plenty of companies that are killing it right now in terms of retail. But there are also a lot of companies failing, such as Sears, such as Toys R Us, who recently just failed. Claire's just filed for bankruptcy. I mean, it is a rough industry to be in, especially when you're competing against someone like Amazon. Amazon sells everything. Amazon normally has it cheaper than everyone else. And GameStop doesn't have a price match policy. Toys R Us even had a price match policy, and they're dead. So I'm not saying they can't turn it around. I'm just saying it's going to be really hard. And if they keep dropping in the stock market, it's going to be even harder to turn around. If I were GameStop, if I were the person who ran GameStop, and I'm not, because they did just get a new CEO, which also doesn't probably help their stock prices. Corporate change-ups never typically help your stock, by the way, because investors were used to what the former CEO was doing. But it'll be interesting to see how they try to turn it around and what changes they make to try to drive more business before finally dying out. Guys, if you have anything you would like to add to this, you can let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm not saying that stock is the only way to judge a company by, but the other writing is on the wall, so the stock is kind of important in this situation as well. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, you can click that subscribe button, ding the little bell. That's the way YouTube will let you know that I actually uploaded. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Helps us grow the channel and the community. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have plenty more content coming for you, and stick around.